from the far, thanks for being here. And Alan Nagals from Mexico now. All right, Canada, we have some Canadians out there? Right, from Toronto, Vancouver, Calgary. All right, no one from Mississippi I learned today. All right, how about from the good old USA? Where are you guys at, USA? There we are. Well, no matter... And from the great country of Hawaii. Thank you, Grant. Well, no matter where you're from, we're just so happy that you're here. You know, we're here in the Innovation Center. This is really demonstrates, I think, our commitment to our innovation and our willingness to invest in infrastructure, to invest in your future. And we couldn't be more happy about the future. Were you guys excited about what you learned this morning? All right, it's amazing. You're gonna love the speakers we have on hand for you today. As you walked into the center today, the Innovation Center from the north side, as you walk in, on the floor there's an inscription, and it says, "There is power in dreams, in imagination, and in the courage of those resolved to make their dreams a reality." Well, that's our goal in our partnership with you, is we want to help you have your dreams become a reality. And the person helping us lead us in that effort is none other than our CEO. Can you please help us welcome Nu Skin's Chief Executive Officer, Mr. Truman Hunt.
You're very kind. Thanks so much. Y'all still awake from your meetings this morning? I hope so. I would really... Alan Nagals here, you guys. This is a great day. Aloha to Team Aloha, wherever you may be. Those Team Aloha are kind of shy and retiring like Alan. Yeah, I don't know. They say like people attract like people, don't they? And that's what makes this place such a lovely place, is that you all are such wonderful, delightful, happy people, and we're thrilled to have you here this weekend. And I would really just prefer to just kind of go around the room and have everybody introduce themselves, because I'd like to get to know you all. But I was asked to talk a little bit about the business. So shall we? Talk about the business a little bit? All right, what you're about to see are some slides that we're going to be showing to our team elites in Rome in 2 weeks. How many of you are going to Rome? Yeah. We've got some Romans here with us. And so you're going to see a portion of the presentation that we're going to be reviewing with them. And we're going to be introducing you to a theme that we hope you will adopt in your efforts here going forward. So first of all, we want you to know that we understand that what this business is all about is enabling you to live the life you want to live, and to live a life of what we would call true prosperity. And you know, in the Nu Skin world, true prosperity means something more than just the size of your commission check. Even though commission checks are important, true prosperity is more than that. You know, it's about supporting your family. It's about being there for your kids. It's about being there for your spouse. It's about making a difference in the world, and making a difference even in the greater world. That's what we're really trying to do here. And if you are one who's willing to sign up for this mission, then you're in the right place. We happen to be probably the world's most optimistic, happy people in the world. And we're so excited about the future. You know, it's just a wonderful time, isn't it? There's so much going on in the world around us. The world is changing faster than it ever has. And we think we're at a moment in time when we can literally launch the company and enable you all to take your businesses to a whole new level that's going to bless not only you for many years to come, but bless your children and those who follow them. We spend a fair amount of time trying to monitor what's going on in the world around us, and I'm going to talk today about trends in 4 different areas. So we're going to talk about consumer trends, what's going on in the consumer world, including customization. We're going to talk about convenience, and we're going to talk about connectivity, and how all of these things are confluences in the marketplace that we need to be able to address. And I think we're actually in a really great place to address them too. So let's talk first about consumers. How many of you in this room would fall into the boomer category by the raise of hands? Some of you are boomers. Yeah, you can go ahead. You can admit it. I'm one of those too. Although I object to this characterization of Mr. Rogers' sweaters and gray hair. My secretary was filling out a passport application for me last week, and it said hair color, and you know what she put? Gray. I'm going, my hair's not gray. It's brownish gray. How many of you are Gen Xers? Yeah, happy to have you here. And how many of you are millennials? Oh, they're the loud ones in the room, aren't they? Well, they're also the largest segment of the global workforce, like by far, almost double the size of Gen Xers and Boomers. And by 2020, more than 50% of the entire workforce will be made up of these people. Now, one thing that all of these market segments have in common, they actually have several traits in common. We're more tech savvy than we've ever been. We're hearing more and more about customizing life and not just customizing products. People are more knowledgeable and skeptical than they've ever been, thanks to the internet and all that it offers. People want to be involved in things that help them help themselves, and people are cause-oriented. People want to spend their money in ways that are making a difference and are supporting good causes. So we're just going to touch on each of these trends really quickly. Customization. So this week we had a group called Euromonitor in our office. They do an annual review of the marketplace for us and come in with all sorts of information about market trends. And this week in their presentation, the #1 trend on their presentation was called the age of me. And I'm going, whoa, where'd you come up with that phrase? Because that sounds a lot like age lock me, doesn't it? And this is what they're seeing in the marketplace, is a huge push towards people wanting to customize the things that consumer products are offering to them, which puts a whole new level of responsibility on we who are trying to provide the consumer market products to really understand what consumers need. How many of you have heard the phrase gig economy? When I first heard this, I thought it was talking about gigabytes, so something that's computer related. But the phrase gig economy refers to a gig. So I'm going to do a new gig, right? And the gig economy refers to the fact that traditional forms of employment are rapidly becoming outdated. So employers are trying to reduce costs, and those who are would-be employees don't want to sit in a cubicle all day. They want to live life the way they want to live it. They want to work from home. They want to work on their terms. They want to work more as independent contractors than as employees. So these confluences are coming together to result in a dramatic increase of people working as independent contractors instead of as employees, something that works very much in our favor. Now, the other thing that's happening is consumer product companies are trying more than ever to be able to customize their products. We just put a few companies on this slide: Nike, Nespresso, and Gatorade. A good friend of mine is a high-level executive at Nike, and he happened to stay at my house last night, and I asked him, I said, so how big is your Nike ID category? How many people are really customizing what you're selling them? And he said that the Nike ID program is growing 4 times faster than any other channel of distribution that Nike has. That's how well they're doing with their ID program. It's becoming more and more an important part of who they are. We really are interested in this Nespresso case because we think it bears a lot of resemblance to what we have coming with Age Lock Me. The coffee market forever was just kind of what it was and not really growing until these companies came along who could offer individual cups of coffee instead of pots of coffee and provide a consumer exactly what he or she wanted instead of having to brew a whole pot. And the next thing you know, these guys really take off. Well, what Nespresso didn't have that we have is a channel of distribution. We already have you ready to take Age Lock Me to the marketplace, and we think really result in a disruptive influence in the skincare market, which can also be kind of stale and without a lot that's dramatically new to it. Now, we all know that ageLOC Me is revolutionary. We're using various approaches to introducing ageLOC Me in various markets around the world. And we're going to work closely with you to figure out how to maximize this product's potential in the US and in Latin America and in North America generally. We all know that the real payoff with this product is in the monthly residual, isn't it? That's more important, really, than the one-time sale up front. We want people who are on a monthly product subscription for years to come. And so we need to do everything we can to make sure that we're capturing as many bathroom counters as we can, as quickly as we can, because others are going to follow this. Are you guys excited for this ageLOC Me product? Because I am. Well, the reality is that in the marketplace today, most consumer product companies are set up to serve the masses and not to serve individuals. So we think we have a really nice competitive advantage as we move into the customization of skincare products with ageLOC Me. Let's talk a little bit about convenience. I'm willing to bet that a large percentage of us in this room have ordered a product from Amazon. And Amazon is a disruptive influence in the marketplace. They're training consumers to want things now and to get them now and to get them free, aren't they? And we in our business need to adapt to the new reality that is really reflected in the Amazon economy. And that's not just a US phenomenon. Everywhere around the world, there are Amazon-like companies who are disruptive influences, and we're determined, as I know you are, to make sure that we're keeping pace there and doing everything we can to satisfy consumers. Now, probably the most disruptive influence that the consumer world has known in the last 20 years is the emergence of mobile technologies, and really with the emergence of the internet. Huge, huge, huge impact on everything that we do. That's making the world a much smaller place and is having a dramatic impact on our business for sure. We want to talk a little bit more about this in a minute, but all of the companies that you note on this slide are companies that have literally replaced former business models. And we think that we're very well suited to do that too, because so many aspects of our business model are perfectly suited to the new reality. Many commentators have started to refer to the confluence of all of these factors as the U economy. And so the question for each of us in this room becomes, in the new economy and in the U economy, how are each of us going to succeed in this new reality? So let me just touch on 4 points here really quickly. First of all, what distinguishes Nu Skin from any company in the direct selling world is the fact that it's just embedded in us to continually renew the vibrancy of the business opportunity. It's what we do. And in fact, one of our challenges over the past several years has been that our efforts to do so are perhaps coming too frequently. And people are saying, whoa, slow down, there's too much coming. We need more time to assimilate all of this. And we get that. It's just that there's so much good to give you too, that sometimes we have a hard time pulling it back. But this is what distinguishes Nu Skin from any other company in the marketplace. All of this leads us to our corporate slogan, which is, of course, discover the best you. That's what we're trying to do, is enable each of you to truly discover the best you and live the lives that you want to live. From a product perspective, our fundamental principle, the foundation of everything that we do, is tied up in this phrase, uttered I don't know how many years ago: all of the good and none of the bad. And it still is the foundation of all that we do from a product perspective. It's where we start. But on the other hand, Nu Skin has grown to the point and has invested to the point where we think we also enjoy a significant competitive advantage in the level of science that we can bring to any product that we launch. We just simply do more. We apply more science than any other company is applying to product categories. And in fact, this building is really a manifestation of that. This is where we house Joe Cheng's incredible team of product developers who, over the course of the last several years, have invested over $1.5 billion in the products that you take to market. Now, a lot of times in direct selling, people will be attracted by a new company with a bright, shiny object, or whatever aspect of their compensation plan that they want to market. And if you ever run into those guys, I might ask them one question, which is, well, how much have you invested in your product line or in your startup? And I guarantee you it's not going to be anywhere close to $1.5 billion, is it? And yet that's the investment that you have behind you. Now, for the last several years, as you know, our flagship brand has been ageLOC. This is the brand that has been so powerful for us over the past, really since 2008, 2009, when we launched Transformation. And in this period of time, we have launched one product after another that has, each of which have been a huge success in the marketplace. Almost all of these products either are or soon will be billion-dollar products for us, with, of course, Youth and Me being just launched in the last quarter or two. Those numbers are going to grow dramatically. And we want to be careful about how quickly we bring new things to market, because we know that you already have a lot to work with. But I just want you to know that there are products in the pipeline that are extremely compelling. And in fact, one of them I'll just tease a little bit. It's the one that's represented by the E, which stands for Epsilon. Is a product that we hope to launch at convention in 2017, or at least introduce to you all in a more tangible way. And if you like the Galvanic Spa, if the Galvanic Spa has been helpful to you in building your business, you are going to love even more this Epsilon product, which is a very, very compelling skincare device that works perfectly with the Galvanic Spa, and you're really going to like it. So stay tuned for that one. Would you like to see a picture of it? Too bad. All right, for you guys going to Rome, you will be introduced to our Epsilon product in Rome in 2 weeks, so you'll have that to look forward to. Let's talk about youth. How many of you are taking youth? I am willing to bet that if we just went down one row here of people, we would hear amazing ways that youth is helping people feel better. I mean, I'm hearing things like, my knees don't hurt anymore. I'm hearing people, Jeffrey Lee showed me a before and after this morning, one of our sales leaders. 3 years ago, his hair color was like mine, and it's now much darker than it is. We're hearing women say that their skin has never looked better. We're hearing all sorts of stories about renewed energy levels and people getting more done in a day than they ever thought imaginable. This is a great product, and truly is, as we named it several years ago, the mother of all supplements, MOAS. It is really improving people's lives and making a dramatic difference in the marketplace. And of course, the other product we have coming in 2016 is this wonderful little device right here, ageLOC Me, which we hope that you're excited about, because it is the first of a kind. In fact, I mentioned this to some of you yesterday, but we have one of our sales leaders in France does consulting work for a little skincare company called L'Oreal. Anybody ever heard of that? And the CEO of L'Oreal walks into a meeting with a facial spa and with a picture of ageLOC Me. And he slams it down on the table and says, how is it that this little company in Provo, Utah is coming up with all of these innovative skincare products and my team isn't? So when she told me that, she said, what would you like me to tell him in response? And I said, well, pretty simple. Paris is the past and Provo is the future. That's just the way it is. And ageLOC Me is a big part of that. We don't have time today to delve deeply into all of its attributes, but we're super excited to bring this to the marketplace and hope that you will make the most of it, because it truly is a landscape-changing product. Let's talk about our digital strategy, kind of another element of what we're doing. Our vision here is to arm you with digital resources that enable you to truly be successful in a digital world. I mean, obviously social commerce has changed everything. And our vision here is to enable you to have a platform where you can funnel all of your friends from various social media outlets and still take advantage of all of the benefits of people trusting each other when they're making recommendations, which is still something that happens even in a digital environment, and enable you to have easy sign up, easy product transactions, easy ability to conduct campaigns, easy ability to manage multiple social media platforms, all in one spot. And I know several of you are involved in the focus groups that we're doing on this product, and I hope you'll continue to do that, because most of all what we want is to build a product that works for you. And we're spending a fortune to do it, and really want to make sure that we're hitting the nail on the head. So this $30 million that we're invested this year in digital technologies and social media technologies, we want to make sure works for you. So keep kicking us the right direction. Now, in the face of all of what's going on here, the one thing that Nu Skin cannot afford to change in a world of a lot of change is the culture that we have all come to love about Nu Skin. It's really what keeps us here. And we want you to know how much we appreciate your support of the Nu Skin Force for Good Foundation, how much we appreciate your support of Nourish the Children and everything that's going on. How many of you had the opportunity to come to Malawi with us so far? A few of you have. I hope more of you will. I mean, it's a life changer to go into an environment where Vitamil and where your efforts has literally taken a country that was ravaged by drought and by the AIDS epidemic. And today in Malawi, 10 years after we started this program, not a single child dies of starvation or malnutrition in virtually that entire country. And that is something that we can all be proud of. And even though these efforts are a small part of what we do, it really is, as Blake always says, a large part of who we are. So what does all this mean for you? What it means is that the future is very, very bright. And you know, today our $2 to $3 billion of revenue level is going to be dwarfed by a rise to $5 and then eventually $10 billion, which is our target. And it's our target for one reason, and that is because at $10 billion in revenue, we'll be paying to all of you over $4 billion of commissions on an annual basis. And that is a lot of money, and it's going to bless a lot of lives. So I'm here today to invite you to continue this journey with us. And even more so, I'm here today to invite you to join with us as we initiate what we're calling the U Revolution. So in the U economy, and with a company that can help you all discover the best you, it's time for us to step up our game and to do everything we can to make sure that each of you succeed in the new and in the U world. And so I extend that. You all in for the U Revolution? Yeah. All right. It's good to be here with you this weekend. Have a great afternoon, and we'll see you all later.
How about that? We just heard from our CEO about the future. You guys excited about the future? Absolutely. I'm just blown away. And for those of you that are going to be in Rome, you're going to even learn a little bit more about the future. Just want to give a shout out to many of you were introduced to him at our global convention. We got our president of global sales in the back, Ryan and Piercy. Ryan, go ahead and wave to the group here. You'll see more of Ryan here in the near future. I hope you guys are excited about the future as we are. Truman shared about our culture and really the driving force of our culture. As Truman had mentioned, that the force for good is 5% of what we do, but 95% of who we are. This is something that Blake had originally shared with us. And I want to introduce you to our next guest speaker. She's been with the company now for just 2 years. And she really understands what our company is all about, has really a good force for good mission in her own heart. While she's only been with us for 2 years, it feels like she's been with us since the very beginning. Just a very, very, very special person. I was first introduced to Ruth on the television. She was a news broadcaster for many years, and so she's very much a recognizable face here in the state of Utah. And we're fortunate that she's been able to join Nu Skin and be a part of our family and our culture. So will you please give us a very, very warm welcome to Ruth Todd. Thanks for being here.
Oh my gosh.
We're gonna get you a microphone right here.
Carol saves the day again. Kara Schneck, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Hi everybody, how's your day gone so far? Great. It is, as Matt said, it is my pleasure to be here. I haven't been here that long, but the other day I was talking with my husband about, when I hit my 2-year mark. And I said, do you realize that just over 2 years ago, I did not know one single person outside of the United States? He said, now I watch you, and when you see a friend, you throw your arms around your friend from Taiwan, your friend from Colombia, your friend from Canada, your friend from Mexico, your friend from Greater China, in the whole area, Hong Kong or Shanghai. And he said, Nu Skin has totally changed your life. And it has. And I'm so grateful. Hasn't it changed your life as well? And isn't that what we're all about? Our mission is to change lives. It is. Take a look at this.
We see a need. We act. We make a difference. We are Nu Skin, a company dedicated to being a force for good. Improving lives is at the heart of our culture, and the proof is in the smiling faces of thousands of children each day. It guides everything we do, everything we strive to become. It is who we are. Our Nu Skin family of sales leaders, customers, and employees creates smiles every day in more than 50 countries. Together, we demonstrate the Nu Skin difference through 3 distinct approaches to helping children. The Nu Skin Force for Good Foundation is a nonprofit charity that provides grants to improve the lives of children, offering hope for a life free from disease, illiteracy, and poverty. Our Nourish the Children initiative is an innovative for-profit social enterprise which allows Nu Skin's customers and distributors to purchase and donate millions of life-saving meals to the world's malnourished children. And finally, our various community-based initiatives allow our employees to perform meaningful humanitarian service with tangible and enduring results. Efforts, the Nu Skin family is making a lasting impact on the lives of children around the world.
How does it feel to be part of that? One of the things that the narrator in that little video said is, to me, at the core of everything. He said, it's who we are. Did you hear him say that? It is indeed who we are. It's what Blake and Steve and Sandy in the very beginning wanted to stress, that Nu Skin was going to be a company with incredibly innovative products and a wonderful business opportunity, but it was going to empower us and empower others to improve lives, and that as we did that for ourselves and our families, we could push that out and be a force for good where? Throughout the entire world. So it really is who we are and who Nu Skin always has been since the very beginning. It's stories. We have a million stories, like the one of Juliana. Juliana was born in the Philippines. She had a defect in her heart, but because of Nu Skin's in the Southeast Asia Heart Fund, she was able to be the first child transported across the border over to Thailand and have this life-saving heart surgery. What's so fun is she not only is treated like a member of the Nu Skin family, she feels like she is part of this family. She keeps in touch with us. We hear from her every year. We get pictures. We hear how she's doing. Just to give you a little update on Juliana, who is now healthy and strong, she's getting really good at tennis. She loves to play tennis. She also, this very month, is graduating from her elementary school and is applying to high schools because she wants to get into a great high school because she wants to be an engineer so she can turn around and empower people to improve lives. Where do you think she learned that? Isn't it an amazing thing what we do, one story at a time? And like I said, Juliana's stories is just one. We have story after story of children and people whose lives have been completely altered by Nu Skin, the force for good, and what we do. we have a huge global footprint, which we love. In 54 countries, we are making a difference. Right here in the Americas regions, we have incredible things going on in North America, in South America, Canada. We have Quiero Ver in South American parts of the southern United States. We have Vitamil changing lives through our Nurse the Children Social Enterprise Initiative. We've got things going on in every part of the world, and we're just getting started, as Truman said. Do you know that this year marks the 20th year of giving, that we have officially been trying to look out beyond ourselves and give? You know, and I've been thinking about what is it that makes it so much a part of this culture, and what is it about us that it really, this idea of giving and being a force for good really resonates deep in our hearts. Think about this. Every single person in this room has had a good day where we've either stood on a podium and given a talk, or had someone put a medal around our neck because we've crossed the finish line after running a race, or we had an accomplishment and got a promotion at work, or graduated from a school. We've all had those things happen to us, and they feel very good, and they feel very validating for us. But how different is it when we watch our child cross the finish line and get a medal around his or her neck, or a spouse get a promotion at work, or someone we love have something really good happen to them? That feels even better to us. And that is because being a part of something bigger than yourself has bigger dividends. And that's what we do in our Force for Good, and as we are celebrating 20 years of Smiles. You know, it all started with the EB initiative, epidermolysis bullosa. It's a skin disease, and children, they can't live, and we are working and have been giving money every single year to try to eradicate this disease, to try to make a difference, and we have made a difference in the research, and it's where we started. Why would we choose this? Because we care about skin, because that is very, very much who we are. Here's a little picture from our Quiero Ver. That means I want to see, like I'm telling you from Latin America, anything you don't know. But you know this program is helping young children in schools who can't see get an eye exam and then get the glasses and fitted for the glasses that they need. Because if you can't see, you can't learn in school. But if you can see, your world is open and your opportunities become endless. I have had a lot of wonderful experiences all packed into 2 years here at New Skin, but there is nothing that has made my heart swell and beat a little faster in my chest than when I've been able to hand a steaming bowl of Vitamil to a child who's hungry and needs something. This picture right here was in Cartagena, Colombia, and we had an amazing experience down in Colombia, taking Vitamil to the Pies Descalzos schools down there, and we are just getting started in what we're doing, and they are so appreciative. And we had such a fun time. We kind of taught everybody how to make the Vitamil, and then we went back the next day, and you know, they're good cooks in Latin America. You know, they know their way around a kitchen really well, and they had taken our recipe and made it a little más mejor, you know? And they had made it into drinks, and they had made it into desserts, and they had made it into entrees, and I thought, these people know what to do with Vitamil, and they're serving people and changing lives. And the same was true for me in Africa. When I was able to hand a bag of Vitamil to a mother that had hungry children, it is one of the greatest moments in my entire life. Also, to hand a bowl of Vitamil to a child who's hungry in the morning and is an orphan because his parents both died of the AIDS virus, so he is taken care of by these orphanages that we visited and that we provide Vitamil to be able to hand a bowl of Vitamil to this beautiful child and know that because this child isn't hungry, he or she has a chance to learn in the school that day, that feels bigger than myself. That feels like being a force for good. That feels like sharing. And look at those faces. We are creating smiles and plan on doing that forevermore. We are above 450 meals. We are just moving right along, and we'll hit another milestone before you know it. But we need all of your help. And I want to thank all of you and acknowledge you, because the Americas region, North and South America, donate more Vitamil around the world than any other region. You guys are awesome. Because you know it's bigger than yourself. Now we understand very intuitively, it's part of our DNA, networking, direct sales, that if we can be a force for good and teach other people to help other people be a force for good, look what happens. It's just like building our business. We extend that goodness, we extend that desire to give well beyond ourselves, and we make a huge difference. In closing, I want to mostly thank you. Thank you for caring. Thank you for understanding at a very, very core level that being outside of yourself and doing something bigger than yourself is really what it's all about. At the end of your workday, work week, career, or at the end of your life, my guess is this, that the times when you empowered others and inspired others and stepped outside yourself, those will be the meaningful moments in your life that you feel are the most important and the most valuable. That's what it's all about, being a force for good throughout the world. Thank you for all that you do.
Thank you, Ruth. Ruth, if you don't mind throwing me that clicker. Thank you. Let's give Ruth another round of applause. Isn't it great to have her on the team? We've got a lot of people standing, and I see a number of empty chairs. I'm going to request that our team here, we're going to take your seats. Any empty seats, and it's got a bag on it, we're going to ask that some of you come take some of these empty chairs. We've got an overfull room, so thank you so much for that. It just really is wonderful to know of the goodness of each of you and all that you're doing to be a force for good. I tip my hat to each of you. I think of what many of you are doing. There's hundreds of stories I could share, but I just want to share a few of them. This is the Morning Glory Ranch in Waller, Texas, where a team elite executive by the name of Kim Russell has taken upon herself to help children who have autism. So she provides therapy with them, with Pharmanex nutrition and equine therapy. And she is being a force for good. I think we've got Buzz and Maureen Croner, and they focus in their community in San Antonio, Texas, on Nourish the Children, and have a lot of people contributing to the Nourish the Children initiative, as many of you have. I could choose many of you as good examples, such as Buzz and Maureen Croner. I also think of many of you. Some of you may be in this photo. Just a couple months ago, a Vietnamese American team was here in Provo in a room similar to this, but across the street, where in just one night, we're able to raise over $50,000 to the Force for Absolutely. So I could spend the next hour sharing story after story of how you're being a force for good. So thank you so very much. Now, I want to share with you right now a bit of a story where a little bit of courage helped change my life forever. I grew up here in Provo, Utah. Had a wonderful life, come from a wonderful family. My father was a professional tennis player. He was a tennis pro. And we ended up moving here to Provo and ended up being the tennis coach here at the local university. So we were a tennis family. We really enjoyed tennis. So much so that we would dress up in our tennis clothes and take photos of the family, right? Isn't that crazy? This was embarrassing as a teenager, by the way. I'm still seeking treatment for this, all right? This is me, all right? I've got 4 brothers, a little sister. You can tell this is the late 80s. It's my mom's hair, right? It's kind of big, but came from a wonderful family. And being the tennis player, I would participate in local tournaments. Well, this is me. I think this is probably 1989, maybe 14, 15 years old here. And notice the shirt, right? New Skin. So this is one of my first introductions to New Skin. Was a 15-year-old in a New Skin tennis tournament. And this was a tennis tournament my parents actually ran. They volunteered, and New Skin has always given back to the community. Has always been very, very involved in the community. And by the way, who do you think won that tournament? Yeah, this guy, right? I won, absolutely. Got my first of many t-shirts that I've owned that say New Skin on it. But you notice this trophy. So this is technically the trophy that they gave me. Does it look a little bit familiar? Who's been with New Skin since 1990? Right? Does that look familiar? Right? So here's Bryson's. Does it look like they just recycled one of their new executive awards and gave it to me as a tennis trophy? Are you kidding me? Man, what kind of cut rate budgets did we have back then? But New Skin's always been good. And I've always appreciated my association as a young man growing up, my associations with New Skin. Now, I want to tell you a bit about my story. And so I moved away for a couple of years. I served a church mission for a couple of years. And in my return, I learned to speak Korean quite proficiently. And when I came back and started university, I remember my wonderful relationship with New Skin, and I really wanted to work for them. This was a company I wanted to work for. My two older brothers who speak Japanese, they worked for New Skin and couldn't say enough about how much they enjoyed working for such a great organization. So it was in my heart that this is the company that I want to be a part of. So I came to the High Rise. This is in 1996. Came to the High Rise and I applied for a position. I wanted to be an order processor. Someone you call the call center and we take your orders. And they really needed order processors. We just opened up the Korean market in 1996 and they needed someone like me who knew how to speak Korean. So I was very, very excited about this. And so as they brought me in and I just met a receptionist and she sits you down and she set you down on a desk and she has you dial an extension and you're pretty much talking to an answering machine. It asks you a question, and then I'm going to answer the question. Okay, I didn't meet anyone. I didn't get interviewed. And this is how it worked. And then I left. And I brought a friend with me, too. He spoke Japanese. And a couple days later, they called him and hired him. And I was waiting for my call. And that call never came. And weeks went by. And I never received that phone call. So I ended up going to work with my friend and speaking to the hiring manager and asking, hey, I applied for a position, I haven't heard anything. I really want to work for you. So she's looking at a list, she's looking at all the people they chose to hire. Unfortunately, my name wasn't on it. She looked at another list, however, to look at all the people that they decided not to hire. And my name was not on the list, thankfully. So I'm thinking, okay, great, well, when's your next training? I really want to work for you. And she says, well, it's Monday, but before she could tell me no, I said, I'm going to be here Monday, and I hightailed it out of there. I left right away, right? So the very next day, however, I received a letter in the mail that said that I was not hired. Okay, it kind of broke my heart, but do you think I still showed up on Monday? Yeah. Absolutely. So I think I'm one of the first employees never to have been hired at this company. Okay? So, as of today, in 2 weeks, I'll be celebrating my 20-year anniversary with this great company. Now, in anticipation for that, my wife got excited and she started digging up some photos, right? So, this is me 20 years ago in our call center, okay? Now you can understand why they didn't hire me, right? I couldn't afford a razor, couldn't afford a haircut. For some reason, I'm wearing sunglasses in the call center. Who does that, right? Well, my wife reminded me this was a gift. She received a gift of sunglasses. She had just graduated from college, and I happened to be wearing them briefly for this stupid photo. But this is me in the call center again. You recognize these two people? This is 20 years ago. Okay, this is Christy Brinkley. She used to be a spokeswoman for New Skin Enterprises a number of years ago. A supermodel back in her day, and probably still is. This, of course, is Steve Lund. Hasn't changed a bit in 20 years, of course. All right, I hope you had a little bit of fun with that. A lot of fun, but what I learned is that little bit of courage changed my life forever. And I think about your own journeys and the courage that's required for you to be successful in your business. The famed entrepreneur, Peter Drucker, which I'm sure all of you are familiar with, has said this: whenever you see a successful business, someone once made a courageous decision. I'm an admirer of great companies and good people. There's one company in particularly that I really admire, that I like to follow. Not just New Skin, but there's another company. And for any of you that know me, you might think that this is an unusual choice for me. The company is, who is that? When you think of Starbucks, what do you think of? Coffee, okay? If you know anything about me, I don't drink coffee and I never have. Why does someone who doesn't drink coffee and never has like Starbucks so much? I want to tell you a story about the driving force of the man who grew Starbucks into the $90 billion company that it is today. His name is Howard Schultz. He came from New York City. He didn't grow up on Fifth Avenue. He grew up in the projects Okay, he came from a very, very poor family. He ended up going to college, the first person in his family to go to college. He ended up working for Xerox and became an executive at Xerox Corporation for a little while. He then became the general manager of a small company. It was a coffee machine manufacturer called Hammerplatz, and he was running this company. And in that experience, he happened to meet this little company in Seattle, Washington called Starbucks. Now, as he met this company, the reason he went and wanted to meet this company is they kept going through a ton of these little plastic filters. He just thought it was remarkable. This little company could go through so many of these little filters. So he went out and he met with this company, and he was amazed at the passion that they had for coffee and the passion that they had for their craft. Well, at this time, Starbucks didn't sell or serve coffee. They just sold coffee beans and they sold coffee machines. That's all they did. Well, he was still fascinated by this company, and it took him a year. He tried to convince that company for a year just to hire him, okay? But he would never let up. It took him a year to get hired. Now, they ended up hiring him, became the director of marketing, but to make a long story short, there was an opportunity soon after where he had the opportunity to purchase Starbucks. The purchase price was $400,000, okay? It was $399,000 more than he had, all right? So what did he do? He decided he was going to go to the bank. And Howard Schultz got turned down 242 times. Have you ever been turned down? Absolutely. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Some of you are like kind of anxious, like, we were that close not to getting Starbucks? Like, you got turned down that many times? Like, you're shaking, like you need coffee right now, right? But it almost didn't happen. Starbucks almost didn't happen. But it's because of the courage of Howard Schultz and his perseverance is why Starbucks has become a $90 billion company. There would not be a Starbucks if he had given up. He ended up having to go to some individuals for some capital to help purchase Starbucks. And he built this company on the foundation that we're not in the coffee business serving people. We're in the people business serving coffee. He also goes on to say, you must have courage to persevere, to keep following your heart even when others scoff. Don't be beaten down by naysayers. Don't let fear scare you from even trying. Life is a series of near misses, but a lot of what people ascribe to luck is not luck at all. It's seizing the day and accepting responsibility for your future. It's seeing what other people don't see and pursuing that vision no matter who else tells you not to. That's remarkable. The courage and perseverance that he was able to create such a great company. Well, I think of many of you and the courage and perseverance required of many of you in your own New Skin journeys. I think of Brent Bryson. Brent and I have been dear friends for almost 20 years now. Brent lives here in Provo, Utah. He used to own Subway franchises. When he joined this company, his dad pointed to him and said, that thing will never work. Brent, you're going to notice Brent Bryson's name on this $5, $10, and $20 million circle wall. Do you think it worked? Absolutely. It wasn't easy, but with courage and perseverance, he created a successful business. I think of Eileen Williams, who's right here. Eileen, where you at? Okay? Eileen was a Lapis for 12 years. We called it Lapis Land because after her, okay? She took residence in Lapis Land, okay? But she had a defining moment in her business, and within a couple of years became a team lead executive and is one of the most amazing success stories here at New Skin. I think of Maria Gracia Bryson, who emigrated from Venezuela and moved to Florida to live the American dream. She always wanted an international business, and with New Skin, she was able to build an international business and help people in her home country. With no fault of her own, with unfortunately a corrupt government, her team has been harmed by their local government. But has she given up? No, but with courage and perseverance, Maria Gracia Bryson has re-qualified again as a team elite this year. Absolutely. All right, Ricky, I'm going to surprise you here, buddy. Ricky and Natalia Davis. Okay, Ricky's alone today because his lovely wife is back home working, and they both have professional careers, very, very professional. And they joined this business because it's their dream to start a school in their home country of Colombia. And it's just amazing. Give them a big hand. Stand up and But even though they have come from great professional careers, it is Nu Skin is the vehicle that's going to help them achieve their dream. How about On Win? On immigrated to the United States at 16 years old. He didn't know English. Okay? He knew when he came here he was going to have to work twice as hard as everybody else. And today he still works twice as hard as everybody else. On Win is one of the most articulate leaders I have ever met. And in fact, he speaks English better than me, and I had a 20-year head start. Okay? But it's the courage of these type of leaders, and I know many of you, I could go on and on and on. The courage and determination and perseverance required in your business inspires me. Now, I want to share a video of someone who I just met today for the very, very first time. And I think we're going to have a lot of fun with her. I was in this chair just right over here. I first saw this video in this room on these very screens, and I was sitting right here. About a 10-year-old little girl that just showed tremendous courage. I think you're really going to like it. We're going to roll it. Listen carefully, please.
I'll be fine.
Have fun.
I'll do it. Well, here goes something, I guess. Okay, you can do this. I'm gonna jump.
You got it.
Whoa, my ski's slipping off.
Just remember, never snowplow, okay?
No snow plows.
Keep it straight, you'll be fine.
Okay.
Keep going to 20.
Straight. Do you go faster on the end run?
A little bit.
A little bit?
Yeah.
Is it any steeper, do you think? Not much?
Same steepness, it's just longer.
Well, just longer. Just longer. Just a bigger 20, that's all.
Yep. That's fine.
Bigger 20. Go ahead. You got it. I got it. Fine. You'll be fine. Okay. Here. The longer you wait, you'll be more scared. I go. That's the only thing, it's so fun! Huh? 60 seems like nothing now. Whoa!
We were able to track down Zia. She happens to live here in Utah. The video's been seen over 3 million times. Please welcome Zia Terry. So we just met this morning, and I want all of you to get to know her like the group earlier today got to know you. So, Zia, how can someone look up that video when they get home? What do they need to search?
It's called Girls First Ski Jump. Girls First Ski Jump.
Girls First Ski Jump, and I think it's the first thing that comes up on YouTube. But you'll want to watch it, maybe share it with your team. Do you have any idea why that video is so inspiring?
Yeah, it's because I'm kind of voicing my fears, and it's like it kind of lets everybody else know that they're not alone when they're about to do something like pretty awesome or insane, either one.
Or insane, fair enough.
Either one.
So you were up there and you kind of whimpered there for a minute. I noticed you kind of verbalize your what you're thinking, right? Does that verbalization help you in overcoming your fears?
I'm not actually sure if it helps, honestly, but I'm gifted in verbalizing things, says my elementary school teachers. I scored I got like 100 in verbalizing. I don't know. It was interesting.
Well, you're getting good grades for sure.
Yeah.
So, what made you decide to jump? I mean, clearly it was scary. Now, this was a 40-meter jump. Now, there's a 20-meter jump, a 40-meter jump, a 60-meter jump. And I loved your attitude when they're like, hey, it's 40 meters. She's like, oh, well, it's just a longer 20, right? It's the same thing I've done before, but it's just a little bit more. And then, did you notice, what did you say at the end?
The 60 seems like nothing now.
60 seems like nothing now, right? And so the courage that you demonstrated, I think, is just remarkable. What advice do you have to this group to overcome fears and to have courage?
All right, well, if any of you think that you can do something and you know and you're about to do it and you're walking up to this challenge that you're about to face, and you know that you can do it, you need to listen to that, because every single one of you is capable of a lot of things. So if you know you can do it, you're totally right.
That's amazing. She's now 14. So after having that kind of experience, do you feel like you can achieve anything now? Do you think anything's on your way?
Math homework?
Math homework? Fair enough. What was the advice you gave your group earlier today? It could be a hashtag, a popular hashtag, I think.
Screw it and do it.
Right? We were shocked when she told us this. Okay, so I want to get a photo of you and I want to share it with the New Skin world. Is that all right? We're going to get everyone else in here. So I'm not good at selfies, but can we do that? Zir, let's go right here. Everybody wave. Awesome. Everybody, let's give her a round of applause. Isn't that an amazing story? Thanks so much. Appreciate it. So that's an amazing story, isn't it? And the fact that she lives here, even right here in the state of Utah. Well, as we transition, I just want to close with this, that there is power in dreams, in imagination, and in the courage of those resolved to make their dreams a reality. We would encourage you to take courage and make your New Skin business a success. As we transition now, I want to introduce my dear friend and our team. We have Don Lovelace and Jay Hansen coming up. What do you guys think of your sales director? How about their team of account managers and sales managers? You guys like who you work with? Absolutely. As do we. Don and Jay are going to talk about the roadmap to success, the how, or the why and the what, right? And you're going to learn how from other leaders. You're going to learn from leaders today. You're also going to learn from leaders tomorrow on how to progress on the roadmap to success. If it's your goal to become a Ruby, we hope you'll learn this weekend. If it's your goal to become a Diamond, or Blue Diamond, or Team Elite, you're going to learn from leaders who have gone down that path, that roadmap to success. So can you please give a really warm welcome to our Director of Sales, Don Lovelace.
Good afternoon, everyone. How are we doing today? Love this. Well, I'm Don Lovelace, Director of Sales. So just a little background. I actually focus on our English-speaking groups, our Vietnamese-speaking groups, Xin Chao, our Vietnamese friends, and our Latinos también. ¿Cómo estamos hoy día? Qué bien. Wow, it's so great to be with all of you today and spend a little time talking about, as Matt laid out, the roadmap to success. I hope you're enjoying Leadership Conference so far. We've had just an incredible time getting started with you today. I love Truman's message around this you revolution. Well, the next portion of this meeting is all about you. It's all about you and your journey as distributors of New Skin Enterprises. So we're going to talk about the roadmap to success, which focuses on the key milestones you work towards and certain initiatives that you can leverage along the way as well. Now, to get started, for anyone who's ever signed up with New Skin, from our most established Team Elite leader to our brand new signups, they all start at the same place. There's no way to sign up directly as a Team Elite. You start at square one and build your team. Now, for anyone getting started, it could seem like there are limitless paths that you can take to build your business. Well, the roadmap to success is designed to help you focus on certain milestones. The first major milestone being executive, to give you some clarity as to what you can do and next steps you can take. Now, we often think of the roadmap to success as something that's very linear. You're going from point A to point B along a straight line. But anyone who's done this business knows that's not the case at all. While the milestones that we're working towards are all the same, the paths that we take to get there are often quite different. For some people, they sign up in this business and early success may come very easily for them. They quickly advance through various pin titles and move their business forward. For others, it may seem like an uphill battle, where the first several weeks, months, and sometimes years, you're just pushing through against a lot of resistance until finally you have that breakthrough moment and your business really starts to take off. For another group, it's slow and steady wins the race. Thank you. Matt Hall, everyone, isn't he great? Bring me water. For others, it's slow and steady wins the race. They're slowly but surely building their team of consumers, growing their team, and moving forward. And for others still, sometimes it's one step forward and 2 steps back, or 1 step forward and 3 steps back, until you realign, reassess, make some changes, and then you start to take off with your business. So what can we do to ensure success early on in this business? What are some key skills that we could focus in on to help us move from new sign-up to executive and beyond? Well, we've done extensive research around this question. And we've come to understand that a key success behavior of those that are able to progress are that they're able to share their story with confidence and enthusiasm. What is it that attracted them to Nu Skin? Was it the supplements? Was it skincare? Was it the business opportunity? Whatever their passion is, they're able to articulate that and share that with others. Now, it's also heavily influenced by their why. Why did you join Nu Skin? Well, we're very lucky and privileged this afternoon to have with us 4 individuals that have signed up with Nu Skin just in the last few months. Yet, they have volunteered, or in a lot of cases, their upline volunteered them to come up on stage and share their story with us. So they're new to this. We need to make them feel very welcome, like they're part of the Nu Skin family. Please help me welcome to the stage Tree Wynn, Khalid Hadair, Carmen Alfonso, and Janet Perez to the stage. Did you think just a couple months ago that you'd be standing in front of several hundred people sharing your story? Well, to get us started, we'd love to hear from you. If you could share your name, where you're from, and why Nu Skin in about 60 seconds. All right?
Okay, my name is Jim Nguyen. I'm from Vallejo, California. Right now I'm a individual landscaping contractor, also a salon owner. The reason why I joined Nu Skin is the supplement. It's in the past year I've been having a condition called a chest problem. I've been in and out of the hospital for many times, but the doctor couldn't find the solution. So basically, I just took the supplement for a few weeks, and I know it's working, and it helped change my lifestyle. So the reason I'm here is to say thank you to my wife. She's here to support me. Also my brother, my sister, and my friend, my upline, and my sideline. So I'm thanking Nu Skin for all the support and they give me.
Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Carmen Alfonso. I am from Venezuela. I live in Miami, Florida. And I am ND, a specialist in nutrition. And Nu Skin, I found in Nu Skin family, friends, healthy, beauty, and much money. And Nu Skin is my complement, and it's everything for me. Here I can share everything that I learned in my life, and I need to say something in Spanish. Quiero darle las gracias a Eridia Escalante por mostrarme lo hermoso de este camino, a Niurka Gómez por apoyarme y por hacerme feliz. Gracias.
Hi everyone, my name is Janet Perez. I'm from Fullerton, California, and I'm from Mexico. And then they told me to come here and talk to you guys about why New Skin. And the main reason at the beginning was because I was tired to live tired, and I was looking for the really meaning of my life. And then I got to introduced to this beautiful company. I was praying a lot God to put me on the right path, and He brought me to here. And then I started learning about the company, and I started looking at the effects of the nutritional products that I was taking, and I saw that was real. And like he said, they told me, I was looking at the Team Elite talking at the scenario, right? And I was saying, one day I want to be right there. I didn't tell it was that quickly, like months after, like right now. Hopefully I'll come back later as a Team Elite. But they said that your dreams come true, and they start telling me, you want to live younger and die healthier? I said, yes. And they told me, you want to be beautiful and rich? I said, yes. And then they told me, maybe we cannot take those years out of our lives, but we can give life to our years, right? So I was kind of like loving every single thing that they teach me here. But what really moved me was that they offered me a different kind of lifestyle. And that's what I really got me into New Skin. And then I was like getting involved with all these kind of cultures and people and feeling and loving here. And then I said, this is where I want to be. This is when I want to like succeed. And I found out that my team really need me. My team is my family, my whole people, and people like out there that needs to be helped. People out there that needs to be like show that we have this company. So there is so many whys, so why not?
Hello, good afternoon. My name is Khaled Hadid. I'm from Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia. I'm a pharmacist. I've been a pharmacist for like 20 years. And lately I've been thinking about, I'm not going to be a pharmacist for a long time. So I will start looking for opportunities where I can retire early, basically make money the same as I do now, with the same kind of level at least. I came in contact with this New Skin with like a wife of friend. And then just like she told me about her husband, what he's doing, and I told her, give me his phone number, I'll talk to him. I talked to him from the first meeting. I told him, okay, I'm gonna go to Utah and look at it deeply and see what's going on. My goal with the New Skin is really to make my money, make good business, and retire soon. And I'd like traveling, so that's the thing that when you are employed, you can't travel too much. You only have one month. Lucky for me, I have a month, but not everybody does that. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Let's hear it one more time for all our new signups. Thank you. Well, it's so great to hear their stories. Tomorrow, we have the Build Your Business session for a workshop. And we're going to hear from a lot of you as to how to leverage some of these programs. And one of the sessions, one of the workshops is going to be about learning to tell your story. How many of you know Quay Wynn? Quay Wynn, a new Blue Diamond with New Skin. No, Quay? She is amazing. Qualified for 4 straight success trips to become a Blue Diamond. Well, tomorrow, she's going to share with us how we can learn to share our story effectively. You don't want to miss that. Well, as you're qualifying as an executive, you learn to tell your story. The other thing you really want to do is leverage certain programs as you move from sign-up to executive. The buy 3, get 1 free is a great option. The enroll 3, get 1 free is a great way to build your consumer base. But we recently announced a new bonus pool. How many of you are excited for this new bonus pool we're launching? It's going to be amazing. And if it's all right with you, since it's a new program, I'd love to spend a few minutes and talk you through how to qualify. Does that sound all right? Okay. So the new bonus pool actually consists of 2 new pools. The Q pool, which is a bonus specifically for qualifying Q1 and Q2 executives, and the Power Pool, which is for our executive and above leaders. Now, for both of these pools, what we do is we take a specified percentage of the revenue for our region, and we divide it amongst the people that qualify for the pool. So first, let's talk about the Q pool. Now, as I mentioned, this is for Q1 and Q2 qualifying executives, and qualification is all based on building your circle group of consumers and distributors, because every 1,000 group sales volume equals 1 share in the Q pool. Now, there's a few very important keys to remember with this. Now, there's a minimum of 4,000 GSV or 4 shares that are required to qualify for the Q pool. there's a maximum of 1,000 PSV from any single person. So if one person on your team buys 1,200 points, for example, only 1,000 of those would count for you in the Q pool. It's encumbered by qualifying executive, which that means if you're a qualifying executive and you have another qualifying executive under you, you have to get enough volume outside of them for the pool. And the last point that we're really excited about is that there's unlimited shares. While 4,000 GSV equals 4 shares, 6,000 group sales volume equals 6 shares, 10,000 equals 10 shares, and so on. No limit to the number of shares that can be earned. Now the power pool, as I mentioned, is for executives and above, but it goes really hand in hand with the Q pool. The way that our executives can qualify for the power pool is by having people in your circle group who qualify for the Q pool. As they qualify for the Q pool, you as the upline qualify for the power pool. If they get paid 4 shares, you get paid 4 shares in the power pool. Now there's a few important keys to remember. As I just mentioned, right here, they have to get paid on those shares for you as the upline to get paid on those shares as well. So if they have 2,000 group sales volume and get 2 shares and those are not paid in the Q pool, those are not paid in the power pool either. There's unlimited shares that can be earned in this as well. So if you have multiple qualifying executives in your circle group, you get to count the sum of all of their shares in the power pool. It's really going to be a remarkable thing, and it launches April 1st. It launched April 1st, and so we can't wait for our first group of leaders to qualify for this incentive here in the month of April. Now, tomorrow you're going to hear from Dr. Bill Toth. He's a wonderful team elite leader with us, and he's going to talk through how you can leverage the new bonus pools and other incentives to build your business, especially early on. So, we've talked about how to get started in this business. We're talked about now, okay, now you're an executive. What do you do to move your business forward from this point? Well, there's some very important initiatives that you could plug into. We know that Nu Skin is a company for leaders. Our vision statement says that our vision is to generate more income for our sales leaders than any other company. Our compensation plan reflects this as well. It really starts to open up its potential as people qualify as the first leadership title, which is executive. Now, as executive, we need to maintain at least 2,000 group volume through our consumers and distributors in order to maintain that status. But most people are working towards 3,000 group sales volume because it opens up what's known as the wealth maximizer. Now, especially for early leaders, the wealth maximizer, the difference between reaching 2,000 and 3,000 group sales volume is actually 3 times the earnings for our new leaders. So 3K equals 3X. You'll hear that slogan a lot. It's especially true for brand new executives. Executives who in their first month reach 3,000 GSV have 3 times higher retention, and they're 6 times more likely to progress along the roadmap to success, to advance to gold or lapis and so on. It doesn't get more clear than that. For any new executive, the goal should be 3,000 group sales volume. Now, to put even added emphasis around this point, we just introduced a new bonus known as the New Executive 3K bonus. Really creative name, but basically what it means is if you're a new executive who reaches 3,000 group sales volume, we give you an extra $150 bonus that first month. Now that's on top of being paid in the Wealth Maximizer. So if you're a new leader who qualifies for this, 3K can equal even greater than 3X for you. Now while this is of special importance to our new executives, this is something that everyone should be working towards each and every month. In order to consistently qualify for the Wealth Maximizer, it takes consistent action of building your team. At kickoff meetings, Matt Hall shared with us the goal to have 20 circle group consumers, 20 consumers on your team each and every month taking part in ordering the products. Well, it may seem like adding a consumer to your team is just a small drop of volume, but it's through taking that consistent action that things start to build and pick up momentum to where your team grows and grows until one day you have a sea of consumers and distributors who are enjoying our products, who are living younger longer thanks to Nu Skin. Now, the rest of the compensation plan is all about duplication. You become a strong executive The next steps to move forward are about helping others to achieve that same success. Clara McDermott is one of our founding distributors, and I think she said it best. She said that building your new skin business is a lot like raising a family. You love your kids, you teach your kids, but you want them to eventually get out of the house. You want them to be self-sufficient. So that your entire focus is on that end goal. So how do you help people become self-sufficient? How do you create leaders on your team? That's a question a lot of people ask themselves, is how they can do that. Well, lucky for us, we have a few people here with us today, 2 individuals I'm going to call up on stage to help talk us through that point. So please help me welcome Mr. New Skin, Tuan Tran, and Clara Brave House as well. Thank you. Perfect. All right, first up, let's go with Clara. Clara, great to see you. So I actually was at a meeting in California a few months ago and met Clara right as she was signing up. And she is quickly growing and will very soon qualify as a Ruby executive. So she is building quickly. So what do you attribute your early success to? How have you seen such great growth early on?
Hi everybody. One of the first things that I've been working on is being a team player and be a leader for my team. So helping them to grow, help them to achieve their goals and dreams, and be with them at all the time.
I love it. That's great. That's great. Now, question for you. I have a follow-up question for you. You're welcome. What attracted you to New Skin? Well, I mean, you have such a great background in a lot of different areas. Why was New Skin such a great opportunity for you?
First of all, I love New Skin. I just love it. Something that I got really attracted about is like the culture. You know, the culture, the vision. The first time that I came to the company, that's the first thing that it clicked on, you know, in me, the vision. I share it with them, and just to, you know, that everybody open their hearts to you, and the same thing, I open my heart to others.
Thank you so much, Clara. Tuan, great to have you with us as well. Now, Tuan, you're currently a Lapis leader growing your team. What advice do you have for people looking to create executives on their team?
Thank you, Don. Hi, everyone. Just want to let you know I just tried the Ace Lock Me out there, and the first time in my life I feel like I'm a real me. Okay. My name is Tuan. I'm from Ohio, and I'm a husband of a wife and father of 2 sons, 28 and 29 month. I share what happened to me when I applied with my from my standpoint. As point, I can use anything, like any information from anywhere, from YouTube, anytime, so I can know how to do the business. But my apply drilled me with the wheel. So from that point, I move forward further because I know why, and I really need to do that. So I do that to my downline. So I help them to drill the wheel and let them know that there's a bigger picture, that the real meaning of this business is changing life. So we can change, the first is our life, and then we can, the impact on others. So that's make me move forward further.
Very well, so let's hear it one more time for Tuan and for Clara. That's just amazing. I love hearing everyone's stories. Well, as we've talked about the roadmap to success, and as we talk about that process, a lot of people will look at the roadmap and their eyes instantly go to the far right, to the Blue Diamond or Team Elite levels, and they say, you know what, I'm gonna put my head down, I'm gonna work hard, and I'm not gonna stop until I get there. Well, if we wait until we reach those levels to celebrate our success, we miss out on a lot of wonderful moments along the way. I love this quote: success is a journey, not a destination. As you're working in this business, did you help someone use a new product? Did he take a step forward? Celebrate those moments. Each of those steps is really what this journey is all about. This journey is meant to be joyful. Well, to continue our discussion with the roadmap, I get to introduce a very good friend of mine. So I mentioned I'm the director of sales working mostly with our Vietnamese, Spanish, and our English teams. Well, Jaya Hansen is also director of sales, and she works mainly with our Korean, Chinese, and Japanese American teams. Now, if you're friends with Jaya on social media, you'll notice she's very high energy, and she's always taking jumping photos. Her feet are never on the ground when she's taking a picture. Now, what you may not have known is that behind every good jumping photo is a great photographer. And I have probably taken 90% of all the jumping photos of Jay Hansen as we've been working together. So let's give a warm round of applause to Miss Jay Hansen.
Thank you, Don. That was a nice introduction. I love it. How's everybody doing? Great. Okay, are you tired of sitting on the chair? I know you are. Stand up. Let's take a group jumping photo together. So, since Don is so professional, right? So we need him to take a jumping photo for us. So when I count to like 1, 2, 3, and jump. Don't jump on 3. It's a 1, 2, 3, jump. Okay? Okay. We'll post this photo on social media. So if you don't jump high enough, we'll know who you are, and your downline will see you. Okay? Okay. 1, 2, 3, jump! Awesome. Thank you so much. So, and I feel that after I take youth, I do better on my jumping photo. So try it, okay? And see if you before jumping and after jumping is different. Okay, so we learn about how you start, right? And what kind of programs and key activities to help you when you first start. And what's the roadmap to success? Next step. The next step and the key milestone is Ruby. Ruby executives have 4 frontline executives in their organization, and they are like the key and the most energetic group in our organization and our company. Do you agree? So how many Rubies are here? Can you please raise your hand? Okay, good. We need more Rubies in the company, right? Okay. So on the roadmap to success, when you become Ruby, or when you reach Ruby title, or advance another pin title like Emerald, Diamond, and Blue Diamond, by maintaining 4 months, you are a star. So why do we always talk about star? Like, why is star so important? Because star has 3 times greater retention rate, and also 8 times more likely to advance their pin title. So, which means when we compare, look at the different organizations, we look at people who are successful in this business, we found that they all are doing the same thing. They're become, duplicate, multiply stars. So to reinforce this behavior, we introduced the, sorry, this is going again, I went too fast, the success trip. So who has come to a success trip before? Okay, is that amazing? Yeah. Okay. So success trip is what we want you to focus to build your business. So here are some examples I want to share with you. So 2 years ago in the Big Island success trip in Hawaii, I met this Blue Diamond from Korean team. He was qualifying the success trip by himself. But when he see other team and other groups, they're building and they have bring their whole team to the success trip and celebrating together, he feels so lonely. He's like, I need to bring more Korean on this success trip. So he went back and then set a goal with his account manager. He wants to bring more Korean team member to the success trip. Then after that, he take action.
he started calling his team members, setting goals, and also working with other teams in his area. And next trip, we know when we went to Jackson Hole, we have 6 accounts from the Korean team qualified for the success trip. And then Punta Cana, Alaska success trip, we have over 20 accounts. And just last month, when we're in Maui, we have 47 Korean accounts qualified for success trip. That's amazing, right? That's teamwork. And not just like one person cannot do that. You have to go with your team. So success trip is so powerful. I also hear a lot of people share with me that they said the success trip is the turning point for their business, because they promised their team, they promised their family they want to take them to the success trip. This leader told me that when she grew up, she just always focused on study. She got a PhD, and her parents was working hard. They were working hard the whole time in his childhood, trying to pay for her education. And so now their parents are retired, and she just really wants to take them on vacation because she doesn't know how much longer than they will have with her. So she set a goal to herself that she needs to take her parents to every success trip if she can qualify. So every time she is building and trying to get on success trip, and I saw her parents on the success trips, and they always gave me a big hug, and they're so proud of her daughter, even though she had a PhD and she had a good career, but she chose to do new skin business. This lady I'm talking about is Timmy Lee Hai-Ling Yu. And then you all know she always on success trip, right? And tomorrow at the leadership session, she will be sharing with us how she did it and how she promoted the success trip and help her team to build their organization by leveraging the success trip. And success trip is also a great tool. Sometimes people tell me that they converted their spouse on success trip, because some of the spouse wasn't so supportive. But when they came to success trips, they saw the company and then they met the staff. They kind of feel the culture of New Skin. They meet all of you here, right? And all of our distributors. So they know, okay, this is a great company. So that's like a turning point as well for their spouse to convert their spouse to join New Skin. Another great point for success trip is that you see a lot of leaders here today. We have a lot of team lead here, right? But on success trip, like for example, in Maui success trip last month, we have over 50 team lead on the success trip. And usually when you're at the company meeting, you can see the team lead, you take a photo, shake hands. You don't really have a lot of chance to like talk to them and sit down and learn from them. But on success trip, because we are stick together for 5-6 days either on the cruise or on either resort, they cannot go anywhere, right? So they're stuck there with you, and you have a lot of chances to meet with a lot of leaders, great leaders in our region. You have time to hear from their success. So success trip is a great time that we can learn and grow our business. So next trip, we know we're going to Orlando in September. And do you know what's next trip? We're gonna go in Panama. Yeah, are you excited? Yeah. So I was able to go to Panama in January to film the Panama promotion video. And I had to keep the secret for 3 months because my boss's boss, Scott Short, he has threatened us that if we leak the location, me and Don will get fired. So it was so hard to keep the secret. Even like my kids know where I went, but they knew it's a secret. So for a few times I almost like, oh, that in Panama, and my son will be like, Mom, you're not supposed to say that. I'm like, oh yeah. So good thing I'm not saying that with distributor, just talking to family. But I'm so glad that it's after the announcement I can share with you how great Panama is. It's super awesome. You can see the canal and just see the boats from all over the world going through the canal, and also the nature, also the very beautiful culture, colorful buildings, and then you all know that I just care about food. The food's really, really good in Panama, and it's all inclusive. So if you want to qualify, please make sure you set goal with your account manager, okay? Yes. Hey. So we talked about this business cycle a couple times already. The success trip is one part of the business cycle. It's the building part. I've been telling you about the building for success trip. And the second part of our business cycle is celebration, to celebrate your success. We celebrate on success trip, also at the corporate event. Like today, we're gonna have a red carpet recognition tonight. Most of you will be able to walk the red carpet. And the next one on the business cycle is reward. So rewards, when you build the organization, you have a bigger sales channel, you have a better and bigger team to participate in this product launch and the preview. So your reward is your commission check. So this business cycle, why it's so important, excuse me, it's because you and your team, you can focus in a short period of time to prepare for better achievement on the roadmap to success. So you know this guy? It's Joshua. I just said he threatened me, right? So Joshua said the best way to predict your future is to know it ahead of time. That's why we have the success trip, we have the business cycle, because whenever you join the business, you're in the cycle. You're in the build, celebrate, and reward. And so somebody will say, oh, if you join another company, whenever you go to this join the company, only the people who came in the first can make money, right? But at Nu Skin, because we have the business cycle, so anytime when you join the company, you can plug in right away. It's always a good time because you can always aim for the next qualification. Okay, so next I would like to invite 4 experts. They are our Ruby to Blue Diamond executives to the stage to share with us how they leverage our company program and success trip and just help them to grow their business and let them achieve this title. So we'll have Bruce Bo, Evan Nagel, Sonia Gonzalez, and Tony Ka. Please come on the stage.
Evan, we love you!
Okay, I'm gonna ask them a question. They have 1 minute to answer the question. So the first one is our new Ruby, okay, Evan. He's only 19 years old. He's one of our youngest Ruby, right? And you'll know that he qualified for Maui Succession. He went all the way to Maui to participate. All the way 15 minutes to Maui. And he's gonna share us, what's your biggest takeaway from Maui? And you have to do yo-yo and answer this question at the same time.
I'm yo-yoing and answering the question at the same time?
So it's a challenge. Okay, let's try this.
Alright, so I think this actually makes a lot of sense because one of my biggest takeaways was that to get a lot of information from something, you have to connect it with something that's interesting. And so being in Maui and enjoying Maui and just having a great time while learning about Nu Skin was like a double whammy. It was so enjoyable, but at the same time, I learned from all these millionaires and these amazing mentors. It was really great.
Awesome! I was teasing him, so I don't know if he can do that. He's like, oh, if I do yo-yo, nobody's gonna pay attention on what I'm saying. But he did great, right? Okay, Bruce, I know that you've went through a lot of difficulty and challenges in this business. Can you please share how you overcome those challenges and become what you are right now?
Hello, Nu Skin. Well, there's are a lot of up and downs in this business, and for me, there's more downs than up. But the way I overcome it because I have a clear vision, a clear picture in my mind that when I succeed in this business, what I'm going to have. And I see that very clearly. And the second thing that helped me overcome is I have that willing mentality. I'm willing to work, I'm willing to play hard, and I'm willing to overcome any obstacle there is in Nu Skin. Thank you.
And Sonia, I know that you qualify for both Alaska trip and Maui trip. So 2 trips in a row. How did you do that? How is the success rate helping you build your business?
Well, hello everybody. My name is Sonia Gonzalez from Bakersfield, California. And I was able to go to 2 trips and it was just easy. I think the main thing is you gotta be focused on what you want. You wanna know where you're going, and it's gonna require a lot of work, a lot of dedication. And most importantly, we all know we have a humongous lack of nutrition in America. So my main passion is Farm and Eggs, and every day we have to think about who are we gonna be able to serve out there. We're the ones that have the major need, and every day we gotta focus on teaching our people to have the same vision, the same mentality. Who am I gonna help today? And, and by you doing that, service as many people possible, the rewards automatically comes, And it hasn't been that difficult because people are screaming every single day for our products. And there's so many people out there, it's over 10,000 people return every single day, in major need about what we need. So they're screaming every day, help. And we all need to be able to share that information that Nu Skin have. They already put so much money into, the development and all the work and the scientists and all this stuff. So we just need to put our little bit of effort. And mainly, you have to have a big why. And that big why is the only one that's going to determine to get somewhere. When the obstacle comes your way, it's going to be like a little rice grain that you're going to step over it and go forward. Because your why is going to be more strong than any obstacle that it comes your way. So my next trip, it will be Panama. And by July 2017, Blue Diamond. That's in my agenda. Thank you.
And Tony, you're a Blue Diamond now. And Blue Diamond is a lot of people's goal, right? Everybody wants to achieve the Blue Diamond status. Do you have any advice for people who really want to shoot for a Blue Diamond?
Thank you, Jim. Anyone in this room want to become a Blue Diamond? Okay, the top one, the one I can give you the advice is make your decision right now to become a Blue Diamond. Because in the past few years, I talked to some people, and they didn't get their goal or they did not achieve their goals. One thing is say they join Nu Skin because it's free. They join Nu Skin because they want to have fun, or they join Nu Skin because they want to get away from their spouse for a few days. Because they didn't make the decision to success into this business. But when you make a strong decision to become a Blue Diamond, you will focus and you will put all the energy and the power into one direction, and you will get there. You will achieve the Blue Diamond.
Thank you. Please give them another round of applause. Thank you. So this is just a sampling of what kind of leader Nu Skin attracts, right? It's just a small sample. We have so many leaders because our company is built for leaders. I think Evan is very loved. Okay. And why is Nu Skin able to attract so many leaders? Do you know why? Because our compensation plan is built for leadership. Because our leader is the key for our business. So our compensation plan, this wealth maximizer and the 6th level 5% compensation plan. Some people told me that, do you know that what's the best product of Nu Skin? And I was like, age-lock, or like a lot of times some people may say culture or the people, right? But a lot of people told me it's our compensation plan. Here's the proof. So as of March, so last month, we have over 1,200 $1 million circle earners. So this is amazing, right? Because a lot of companies, they struggle to have $1 million circle members, but we have over 1,200 of them. Not only that, we have 156 $5 million earners. We have 10 million earners. And then we have 43 $20 million earners. A lot of them are actually here with us today. We'll be able to hear from them today and tomorrow and share how they did it. And not only them made that achievement, a lot of them are not just team elite. They're some lower title executives because they have a big organization and they're strong and healthy. So, and another reason people can get that is they don't quit, right? I heard that from Clara McDermott, our first distributor. She said, this secret of this business, just don't quit. So we have so many great leaders to learn from, and we'll be able to hear from them. Today, we're focused on the roadmap to success, on the what and why. So we learn a lot of different programs, right? And why we want to focus on them. Tomorrow at the leadership session, you'll be hearing from more leaders on how do they start? How do you share success stories? How do you prospect? How do you become, duplicate, multiply stars? And how do you utilize success trip and also the product launches? Also, how do you build leader and become a leader of leaders, not leader of followers? So we'll learn all that tomorrow. You don't want to miss that. And then for the next session from today, Matt Hall is gonna come back and then introduce our next speaker. Please welcome Matt Hall.
Thanks, Chad. Didn't they do a fantastic job? And to those courageous distributors, who some of them were new, well, very impressed. Well, we have a treat here for the next 30 minutes. You have the opportunity to hear from one of our founding distributors. He's the one who had the courage, the foresight, to join Nu Skin before Nu Skin was anything. All right, so will you please give a really big warm welcome to Craig Bryson.
Hey, how you doing? It's been a long day. You guys have been in meetings all day long, and so that I'm sure you're anxious to get out on your own and to socialize with those people who are in your group and your upline, and just get to know everyone. It is a good feeling, I have to say, that as I sit here to know that everybody in this room is in my downline. I love that idea. Everybody in the world is in my downline. It allows me to sleep peaceably at night, knowing that that's the case. But I also like to point out that when Craig Tillis and I first walked into Nu Skin, and we made the decision to do it, is that there was a moment when we said to ourselves, after all the discussion about the marketing plan, and Craig, it was the 5%, 6 levels down with Craig and I's idea. I wish we had made 5% down 7 levels at the time, but it was only 5% down 6 levels, is that there came that moment when we had to sit in front of a telephone, or we had to go out and talk to our very first person. And you know what? Everybody in this room has gone through that same moment. It doesn't matter whether you're the first person in the business or whether you're the last person who's come into the business, it doesn't matter at all. It's always the same moment where you ask yourself, can I do this? And that is the question that we ask ourselves over and over and over again. We're better off if we only ask ourselves that question once and make the decision once, because it frees up our energy, it frees up our thinking, it allows us to plunge in and embrace the moment. So I would like to give away money, because I have found giving away money is great for crowd morale. Yeah. This is how we're going to do it. I want everyone to stand up, and I want you to get out a coin, And so from your purses and from your pocket, I want everyone to get out a coin, and I want you to get 1 coin. That's all you need, 1 coin. If you don't have one, maybe you can get it from a neighbor. You got a question on the coin too? All right. Are we ready? We're going to play the simplest game in the world. We're just going to flip a coin. Yeah, we're going to just flip a coin. And so we're just going to do heads and tails. All right? So I know that some of you are going to be dropping the coin. It's going to go into your chair, but we're going to do the best we can. All right, so everyone flip the coin. Okay, what do you got? All right, I want everyone who has heads to sit down. Okay. All right, you ready to go again? Flip the coin. I want everyone to flip the coin. All right, everyone who has heads, sit down. Okay, we're going to go again. Flip the coin. I want everyone who has tails to sit down. Okay, flip that coin. I want everyone who has heads to sit down. Okay, raise your hand if you're still up. Okay, we still have quite a few people. Flip the coin. Everyone who has tails, sit down. Okay, raise your hand if you're still in. Oh, we got lots of people still in. Okay, flip the coin. Everyone who has tails, sit down. Okay, now, everyone who is still in, come up and form a line right here. Form a line right here. Okay, so let's take a look. How many do we have? All right, we have about 10 people, I guess. Okay. Oh, no, we got more than that. We got lots of people. Okay. All right, so we're going to get ready. So, flip the coin. Everyone, flip the coin. Everyone who has heads, sit down. Okay. Okay, theoretically, 50% of you should be sitting down, I might add. All right, flip the coin. Okay, you ready? Flip the coin. Everyone who has tails, sit down. So what do you guys got? Okay, you got to sit down. Oh, you're good. You're down. Oh, so is it just down to you two? Okay, come on, right here. Stand right here. This is going to be excellent. This is worth $100 to you guys. Okay, are you ready? One of you is going to make $100. So flip a coin. Flip the coin. The key to this is to catch the coin. Okay, everyone who has tails, sit down. So what do you got? So you have tails too? Come back up. I'm going to give away my $100. So flip the coin. One. All right. So just put it in your hand. Okay, just put it in your hand. All right, everyone who has heads, sit down. What do you got? You have heads? You have heads. Oh, man. This is taking a lot longer than it should. Okay, flip the coin. Okay, whoever has, go ahead. Yeah, whoever has tails, sit down. All right, you stay. You. Okay. All right. Great. I love giving away money. Okay. Now I want you to tell me the skill that you have that allow you to win this. What skill did you possess? What knowledge did you have?
I never can catch it.
Yeah, that seemed to be a skill. Yeah. It's pure luck, right? Pure luck. You can sit down. This is a demonstration that a professor at MIT did in her business class. All right, so she's teaching a business class for people who are getting their MBA, and this is the first thing she does. And the reason is she wants to introduce the concept that in business, that yes, there are skills, there are macroeconomic elements, there are things that you have to develop within yourself, but within business, there is also a thread of pure luck. That it's just luck. It allows you sometimes to be positioned, it allows you sometimes to see a concept. It can be just luck. And that's what I want to convey to you right now, is that in this business there is a thread of luck, and that everyone in this room is lucky. And the reason is that Nu Skin is making a pivot into a different direction. And that change that they're going in is important for you to understand, because you do not want to miss it. Because it's going to open up vistas, it's going to open up opportunities that have never existed in the business before. And the businesses have those moments. How many of you have been following the Republican primary? Okay, one person. We got one person. But you have to admit, I do have Donald Trump hair, don't I? I mean, hey. Yeah. So anyway, so if you've been following the Republican primary, you saw Carly Fiorina come and go. She, if you watched her in some of the debates, she was excellent in the debates. You could tell she has a crisp, intelligent mind. She was a great debater that no doubt had been honed in corporate America, and that she was on that platform with those other potential candidates because she was the president of Hewlett-Packard, and that she made a decision about creating Hewlett-Packard as the largest desktop computing company in the world. And that she made that decision, and she bases her success on that. And so for a very short period of time, she started to go up in the polls. But people began to examine that decision. And what they realized is that decision actually was not a good one. Is that she bought Compaq Computer that made Hewlett-Packard the largest desktop computer maker in the world. But she bought it at a time when the world was turning against desktop computers, and it was turning towards mobile. And so as a consequence, she took her company in a direction away from the direction of the macroeconomic elements of the society. And so she made this big decisions worth tens of billions of dollars, and it was a mistake. At the very same time, you had Steve Jobs, who regained control of Apple Computer. And he placed his bet. And he bet, with the advent of the iPod, he bet on portable music. He made a step into portable electronics. And the year that Apple Computer took that step away from desktop computers and into mobile, they did $5.4 billion in business. When they introduced, about 5 or 6 years later, the iPhone, they were doing $24 billion in business. And what has taken place as you look at this is you can see that Steve Jobs placed Apple in front of a larger trend. And so that he built himself a word that you're going to hear a lot of. He created a platform off of which he could build out a bigger and bigger business. And so he took the iPhone and he created that platform and put on iTunes. He created iPad. He put on that platform also apps. And so as a consequence, he built out a platform, adding increasing number of products. He turned away from his old business model and he turned toward to the mobile model. And now Apple does $233 billion in business because Steve Jobs made that decision. And that decision was exactly opposite of the decision that Carly Fiorina made. And Carly Fiorina's decision drove Hewlett-Packard into a corner that not only did they miss the mobile explosion, is that when cloud computing came along, they were not in a position to participate in the cloud computing explosion as well. We are at that type of moment in this case. And that you can see it in the introduction of everything that the company's doing. All right? So they're going to help us arrange ourselves to participate and create a platform so that we can become more productive into social media. You've all sat and you all listened to what has taken place with the groups over there in the UK, with Emma and with Hazel, and that you've listened to the success that they've had. And that's great. It's an illustration of what is taking place. But you have to truly appreciate that in this illustration, there are bigger reasons why successes take place. And it has to do with reach, is that you are no longer consigned to a relationship of individual connections. That social media over the course of the last few years has exploded the ability of distributors to reach out and connect to people in a way that has not been historically possible. In September of last year, a show was broadcast on CBS. It was called Limitless. So Limitless was introduced, and that they got a little over 9 million viewers on CBS, on broadcast television. And you say 9 million viewers, that's okay. But you know what? That's not where the accounting stops. The rating of television isn't like it once was. It's not, they don't really, I mean, they care about how many viewers come and watch on that first night, but it doesn't end there. They then, over the next 30 days, they count up the DVR viewers. And then they look at the streaming viewers on Netflix and Hulu and Amazon. Then they look at the streaming that comes off of CBS's apps and CBS's website. And so the expansion in terms of the content goes from 9 million to 16 million because it wasn't those people who watched it on the night it was introduced. It had to spread through the different levels of media to really see the impact. And you have to appreciate that's what's taking place. Social media is creating a world where your impact can be dispersed over multiples of people that you know. And that the company is saying to you, if you look what the company is saying, is that we're going to put you on a platform, and we're going to help you get started, and we're going to expand the number of people that we're going to connect to. But it isn't just that. They're going to do free shipping. You understand the implications of free shipping. They're working on their prices because they're going to get their prices down. So you start to look at it. They're going into social media. They're going to do free shipping. They're going to work on their prices. And that means they're going to compete in the world of online sales. And that when you start talking about competing on the world of online sales, you're talking about an expanse of potential sales that is tremendous. But you have to appreciate that there are other macroeconomic elements that are taking place simultaneously. And that one of those is the automated car. How many of you have heard about the automated car? Okay. The automated car is in the news all over. 15 years ago, they said the automated car was an impossibility. Too much computing power that needed to take place all at once. So in 2004, they said it was an impossibility. Now, the automated car has come to a point where everyone knows it's going to happen. It's just a question of when. Mercedes put 3 automated trucks on the road of Europe just this last month. Google has been running an automated car that's run up over 1 million miles. In other words, a driver isn't needed. Tesla has just put out an automated car that will take you from San Francisco to Seattle without you ever touching the wheel. Everybody is going to do the automated car. We're only 2 or 3 years away from having an automated car that will just do what you command it to do. The federal government is investing $4 billion to facilitate this. They have made the recognition that they're going to recognize computers as drivers of cars. And you say to yourself, well, Craig, what does that mean? What does that mean to us? Let me tell you what it means. Right now, Amazon, whose goal in life is to sell everything to everybody. And I hate Amazon. I use it every day, but I hate these guys because they are able competitors. And Amazon is leading the revolution of delivery. There is right now a revolution that has to do with delivery. You could be living in one of the Amazon 5 urban areas where they do 2-hour delivery time. 2-hour delivery time. So you order something on Amazon, it comes to your house in 2 hours. And you say, wow, how do you beat that? Well, you have to look at the automated car. Because what is taking place is they're investing billions of dollars to put in warehouses all over the country. and that they're going to use drivers initially, and then they'll use automated cars. But you know what? We can use automated cars as well. If we are involved in social media, the company is creating a platform of online sales. If it's then connected to distributors who have an automated car, and Honda is looking at an automated car for $20,000, is that Nu Skin can do delivery within an hour as well. And this is revolutionary. It means that we can be as competitive with any company out there. We can be more competitive than Walmart. We can be more competitive than a lot of those companies because we're seeing the aggregation of influences that will expand our business to a size that we have never seen before. And the company's got its fingerprints all over the future on this. They're making the determination to make a change. Now let me say this to you, that in that change, you're going to have to change as well. Because you're not going to stay in the comfortable environments that you have been in up to this point. We get used to the environment that we're in. I used to travel a great deal. I used to go into to Europe and support the group in Europe. And this is going back a few years. And I have to tell you that when I travel, I'm a real mess. You know, I am casual to the point of disgust. I have my long hair. I don't carry around a huge, a fancy and expensive briefcase. At the time, especially, I would buy some magazines at the gift shop. I would fill up magazines. I would have my books, and I would shove those books into that plastic bag, and that I would fly first class. And so I'm going to London. And I'm getting my transfer in Cincinnati. I get into the first class seat. I sit down. I shove all my stuff in the pouch in front of me, and I'm sitting there, and I can feel this guy, because at the time I used to carry a Game Boy. You remember Game Boys? I used to carry a Game Boy, and I would play Tetris. And I can tell you, at the time, I was so good at Tetris. And so I would play Tetris. And so I'm sitting there playing Tetris on my Game Boy, and that I can feel this guy come up. I can feel his animosity towards me. And I look at him because I can sense that somehow I've done something to offend him. And so he walks up 2 or 3 rows in front of me, and he sits down his wife, and then he comes back to where I'm sitting. And I'm playing my Game Boy, and I'm not paying any attention to him. And he says to me, he says, "You're sitting in my seat." Well, I took out my ticket. I looked at it. I said, "No, it's my seat." And I went back to playing my Game Boy. Well, he was not pleased. You could tell he was upset. And so that he calls the flight attendant over. And this is what he said. I mean, this isn't his name, but this is what he said. He said, "I am Dr. John Smith. And this man is sitting in my seat." Well, you know, you listen to him. You say, he's used that line lots. He's used it in the hospital where he says, "This is Dr. John Smith, and I want those lab results right now." And you can hear him say, "This is Dr. John Smith, and I want a reservation at your restaurant. This is Dr. John Smith." That line, no doubt, opened up doors like you couldn't believe. And now he was saying that to Delta. "This is Dr. John Smith, and I'm upset because this guy is sitting in my seat." What he didn't appreciate is that at that point, I had 2.5 million miles on Delta. Delta and I were one. I would get off the plane when I'd come into the country, and Delta would have someone who would meet me at the gate. They would take me through a special immigration and a special customs service, and then they'd drive me right to my gate so that I wouldn't have to wait in line. Delta and I were close. I knew the world of Delta. And as the stewardess took his ticket and took my ticket, he's thinking he's going to deplace me. He's thinking that security is going to come up and drag me off the plane because I have been so obnoxious. But you know what? I didn't have any cares because I understood the terrain. And I had been in these situations before. And Delta only cared about one thing. Who was their best customer? And it wasn't going to be Dr. John Smith. So they came back. The stewardess, the flight attendant, came back. And she kind of grabs his arm and says, let's see if we can find a place for you in the back. And I hear him, as she drags him past the curtain, saying, in the back? In the back? But he didn't understand his environment. He was in an environment outside of his knowledge. And our environment is going to change as dramatically. The environment that we live in as distributors today is not going to be the environment that we're going to live in 2 years from now or 3 years from now. And there's a reason for that. And that reason is the value of expertise is disappearing. I read an article about this not too long ago. And it showed people who were in knowledge business. And one of the examples was a wine expert. And she would be hired to help people come to a conclusion about their wine collection. What they should buy, what they shouldn't buy, maybe in terms of teaching them the value of different wine. And so that this was her job. And her expertise called money. She said, no one cares about me anymore because they can get their expertise online. And it can be free and it can be instantaneous. And that this is the case for everybody, right? There's a lot of businesses that are disappearing because expertise is now free and available instantaneously online. And you know what? That holds true for us as leaders as well. You used to be a leader if you had learned the marketing plan, right? The marketing plan's complex. You learn the marketing plan, you are in a position to explain it. But no one, who cares about explaining the marketing plan? You can have Scott Schwartz explain the marketing plan on YouTube, right? You want someone to explain the business? You don't need to explain the business. You can find someone on YouTube to explain the business. You don't have to do it yourself. Though your people can look at that marketing plan YouTube presentation. They can look at it over and over and over again until they have internalized it all the way down to the last dotting of the I and crossing of the T. So they don't need you. They can do the same thing in terms of how the business works. They don't need you anymore. And you say to yourself, well, where does that leave me? Where does that leave us as distributors? We're all in the same boat. The need for distributors, or the need for leadership will remain, and it will actually grow. But it will be different. When I was doing all that traveling, I had a travel agent. And she would set up my reservation. So I would go to hotel after hotel after hotel. She would set up, and she would get a 5% cut on the cost of my hotel room. And because, that's a human interaction, we say, okay, what do these electronic businesses, what does Travelocity get? What does Expedia get? How much do they get? If she got 5%, these electronic businesses where there's no human interaction, they must only get 2% or maybe 1%. The truth of the matter is they get 20, 25%, in some cases 30% of the cost of a hotel room. And you say, this doesn't make any sense. It's not only that, but they just raise their prices. There are some people who are predicting that in the near future, those sites are going to get 50% of the cost of your hotel room. And you say, what on earth are they doing that would be worth 50% of your hotel price? And this is what they do. If you Google up hotel rooms for New York City, you're going to get 4 to 5 million responses. And what they do isn't expand. What they do is subtract. They subtract all those responses and gear it up to the needs that you have as opposed to a generalized hotel booking in the New York City area. And that's what leaders are going to do. They're going to take the online material and they're going to develop that material for each individual need in terms of what they need to know and how they need to receive it. And it's going to change the very nature of leadership. But that also means you're going to have to learn about the trajectory of technology. Because technology is changing every day. And that when you listen to Hazel and you listen to Emma, I want you to listen to what actually they told you earlier in the day. It isn't what they do, it's what they didn't do. Let's take a look at Hazel and Emma for a moment. So they're in a market that has been dead for quite a long time. In other words, it hasn't grown, it has sat there and sputtered for at least a decade. And yet, they've done so well. they've created such a large amount of volume over a short period of time. What is it that they did? The first thing you notice, if you look at it closely, is they rejected things. They rejected high-priced products. They did. They rejected high-priced products. What are the products that they sold? They sold facelift. They sold Glacier Marine Mud. They sold lip gloss. They sold AP24. And they rejected high-priced products that are about aging. And the reason is that wasn't the market they were in. They were in the millennial market. And the millennial market cared more about beauty than about aging. And so that they did away with all the push for aging products, and they accepted what was in demand for those people who were in their demographics, and that was beauty products. And then they accepted also the fact that demographics needed lower prices, and so they picked out the products that were lower priced products so that they could go into that market. Then they rejected the kit system, because when you sell kits, that's only the entrance price of getting involved in the business. If you raise the entrance price with expensive kits, you're putting up an economic barrier for participation. So they did away with kit systems, so they lowered the barrier for participation. They lowered the barrier for purchasing. And then they used social media to give constant reinforcement about the successes that people were having within their group. And so it isn't necessarily only what they did was to use social media. It's also what they didn't do. And that they didn't accept the guidance that they were getting from their upline. They accepted what they saw about the market that they were in. And they took the key and they unlocked the door for themselves. And that is what's taking place in the larger market today. The market, the velocity of the market is going too fast for any one person to figure out the password. It's going too fast because it's constantly changing. If you have a lock, a four-number combination lock, there are 10,000 possibilities. And if I sat here and tried to guess what the combination is, it would take me days to go through those 10,000 possibilities till I discovered the number that would open that lock. But if I had 10,000 people working on that, they would find almost instantaneously the way to get that password and open up that lock. And that's what Hazel did, and Emma, is that they went on their own. They used the power of crowds. They did their own experimentation. They developed their key, and they opened up the lock, and they created a fortune for themselves. And that is one of the changes that are taking place. Because no single mind can figure out the complexity of the market that we're in. And then you have to appreciate that. You take what people give you that you can find is beneficial, but you have to match up your customers with your prices and with your products and with the entrance price. One size fits all does not work in a world that is increasingly, everybody knows everything. I mean, everybody knows everything. Transparency is what's taking place. Let me close because I'm going to run over. So you develop a social network. If you listen to Holly Holmes. So Holly Holmes, over 10 years, created a social network of 1.9 million people. And she did it through the power of content. And that as you develop your own power of content, or understand that, that's important for you to know. And so that she developed her social network, and that has great power. It's also, when you develop a network, it has independent value. When I tell you you need to create your own network, I'm telling you you need to create an organism that has value independent of how you monetize it through Nu Skin. Because if you put people together in a network, you suddenly can do anything you want with that network because its value is separate and distinct from your Nu Skin business. I want you to understand the meaning of that. It means that over time, as everybody in this room develops a network and holds on to customers, holds on to old distributors, hold on to old customers, and that they raise that network's profile to first hundreds of people, and then thousands of people, and then 10,000s of people, what's going to take place is that the distributors are going to become co-equal with the company. because the network is truly what's valuable. And the company's going to give you help in doing this because they know that's what the future is. And they accept that transition because they know in doing that, we can become competitive on the internet, not only within the realms of direct sales. And that you need to understand that. And so as you do this, you also need to understand what is a shocking fact of life. You want me to tell you something that is a shocking fact of life? Okay? I have 11 kids. That's shocking to me every morning. That's whole nother question. All right. So, if you go on Yelp, what are you doing? Right? You go on Yelp. You're going to look for recommendations on the restaurants that you go to. If you go to Amazon and you're going to buy a book, what do? You look at the reviews, right? You read the reviews, you look at the stars, you read the reviews to see if those people who are reviewing kind of looks like you, and you say, oh, okay, I'll buy this book. Or not just the book, for anything on Amazon. You're reading the reviews. You're being, those products are being rated. Their services are being rated. Let me tell you the shocking thing. Everybody in this room is going to be rated on the internet. You're going to have 4 stars or 2 stars. You're going to have reviews that say, she's a terrible upline. You're going to have reviews that say, she's a great upline. You're going to have reviews that say she's a wonderful speaker, or reviews that say he's a terrible speaker. Or you're going to have everyone who looks you up because it's merely an extension of what's taking place right now. If you place yourself in a high profile, then people are going to Google you to see if you match that profile. But it's going to go deeper than that. Every individual is going to be rated in terms of their work ethic, in terms of their success, in terms of their ability. And I'm not saying this as a futurist that is making a prediction about what's going to take place. I'm saying this because Yelp has already announced that they're going to do this for individuals. I'm telling you because there was another app that came forward that said this is what they're going to do. They're going to take everybody and they're going to create a platform so that everybody is going to be rated and reviewed. So, I don't know if it's like this, but there's not much we can do about it other than to understand it and to participate in the demands that come from it. You need to find a place for yourself in the social world. You need to take the tools that the company has given you. You need to use those tools to figure out the platform. If you look at what took place with Apple, Apple created the iPod created the iPhone led to the next platform in terms of iTunes, and so they built on each individual introduction of these products. If you want to look at a company more close to us in timeline, look at Netflix. Netflix founder did not want to start a business renting DVDs. They didn't want to do that. His interest was in getting involved in streaming media, but he realized that he had to position himself into the world of technology in order for him to be able to timely participate in streaming media. So he created a business of rental of DVDs merely to position himself when streaming media became financially available. And then after he established himself in streaming media, he then moved on to original content. And so you have the step-by-step progression, and that is how companies move forward. The company is building the first step, and you need to embrace it. Even if at the beginning it seems a little difficult or foreign, but you need to embrace it. Not necessarily for that first step, but because there's going to be a second step and a third step. And with each step, the possibilities expand. One last business example. I'm out of time and they're blinking red lights to me that I don't really care. But, there was a man, an economist by the name of Robert Solow. He was an economist for the University of California, Berkeley. And he made a startling discovery. And that discovery was this. that all the wealth that was created from the start of the Industrial Revolution had to do with technical advancement. All the wealth. Do you know the implications of that? I mean, all the wealth, the standard of living of the American citizen kept going up, and it all had to do with technology. This was an unbelievable, revolutionary idea, and it proved to be true. And so that people realized that the advancement of technology is how wealth actually is created. And so that was revolutionary. And then Robert Solow made an observation 20 years later. He found that all those computers that were being placed into all those companies after the revolution of the personal computer hadn't changed productivity at all. Not at all. And no one could understand. And the reason is that they were buying, instead of buying typewriters, they were buying computers, and they were just using the computer as a typewriter. And so that there was no increase of productivity. And productivity is the key to wealth. I don't care what anyone tells you. Productivity is the key to wealth, getting more money out of less action. Productivity is the key to wealth. And so he discovers that the technology revolution hadn't changed anything in terms of wealth creation or wealth division. And so other researchers came at this, and this is what they found. They found that it was the very same thing with another technological advancement, and that was electricity. When electricity came into the marketplace, they displaced the steam engine. So the steam engine went out, electrical engine came in, and the businesses used steam power, or used electric power instead of steam power, and productivity didn't change at all. Until a generation had passed who didn't see steam as merely a replacement, or didn't see electricity as a replacement for steam. People who said to themselves, you know, we don't need to have a centralized power plant. We can send electricity to each different station of our business, and we can organize our manufacturing on what will make us more productive. And so they scrambled how they made businesses. And the same thing they then saw was taking place with computers, is that those that had invested in those computers, is that they suddenly began to understand how they could be used productively. And that's the key to understanding the importance of Hazel and Emma, is that other people have been on social media, but just like those people with electricity, they had to discover how electricity would fit into the flow of work. And that's what Emma and Hazel have done. They fit social media into the flow of work that made them more productive, created more income, created more incentive to participate in the business, created more sponsorship, created more successes, because they took it in the same way IT took it, in the same way electricity took it. They understood that it wasn't just the advent of technology, it's how it fit and created the flow of business. And that you all have to understand this. And there's going to be a learning process. And let me say this to you. Make a commitment to engage in that process, because the dollars that are available are going to be much larger than what has been the case in the past. I appreciate the time that you've given me. Thanks a lot. I'll turn the microphone back over.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. One more time for Craig Bryson, everyone. Well, we have had an incredible session. Recognition starts tonight at 7 o'clock just outside here. You don't want to miss it. Tomorrow, 7 to 8 a.m. Who knows Eric the Trainer? Eric the Trainer is going to be leading the workout right here on the lawn at 7 a.m. tomorrow. And then the first session will be for this group at 10 a.m. at the Marriott tomorrow morning. But we'll see you all at Recognition tonight. Thank you.